How's it going? My name is Brent from Encore PPF and Tint, and today we're going to go over how to take existing door cup protectors, duplicate them, and get some for the front doors here. So both front doors have been repainted. We need to make a duplicate of this door handle cup and then install those on the front doors. We're also going to go ahead and put on some door edges for the front two doors. It needs that as well. So let's go over this, how we make a stencil of this, and let's get those installed. All right, we need to get some transfer tape, which is right here on the ground. Let's get this hung back up on here on the wall. Grab some of this transfer tape, and this is what we're gonna use to make a stencil basically for the get the outline of the current door handle cup that's on there. So let's make sure we're not too wide, so that'll definitely cause an issue. Let's also not be too short though, from side to side. That will also cause an issue. Okay, we've got plenty of coverage there, great. I'm gonna go ahead and kind of tack that down in the middle first, and then we'll kind of push out to these edges. So it's all right to crease the material or this material here over a little bit on itself. That's gonna be just fine. And then we wanna get these edges pushed down really well. We're gonna take a pencil here. As you can see, I've got just a lot of lead sticking out there, and we're able to run this in this edge here all the way around this pattern, or all the way around this door handle cup, so that we can make duplicates here. Okay, down. Sometimes you can find these in the computer, but lots of times they don't match real well. And so almost all the time, I mean, these are pretty straightforward ones, so you could just, you know, grab them out of the computer or make them. But this is just a real good opportunity for me to show you how to make these from scratch. All right, so right here I've got some extra, oh, look at this. Oh, you saved this from some car. Did you just put this on here?
I didn't save it, he brought it in. He said
Oh.
I peeled this off.
Oh, okay, well that would have been, we could have used that too from one of the other doors. They don't normally bring those in with them, so that's interesting. Let's go ahead and get this on here though. We're just gonna continue with what we're doing here. Get this laid out nice and flat, and then we'll go ahead and trim right along this line. So if you did make this in the computer, you know, it might not match perfectly because, as you can see, these parts are bowed out a little bit. So if you just made a rectangle with some rounded corners, it's not going to match. All right, and I do like to do these one at a time. Sometimes you can stack the material and cut them two at a time, but I find that I won't get enough pressure a lot of times, and that just creates issues. So you can hear that I'm getting a lot of squeaking, and you kind of use squeaking to be able to tell if you're getting a good cut when you're cutting on the car. And I can tell you that I'm pushing so hard with this that I'd be cutting all the way through the paint down to bare metal with the amount of pressure I'm putting on here. So make sure when you're cutting on the paints that even if you hear the squeak, you want to be on the lighter end of the squeak, because the heavy end of the squeak, where you're putting more pressure, is going through the material for sure and into the paint. All right, we've got ourselves a couple patterns here for the front doors. We're ready to go on this. All right, let's go ahead and get this piece installed on here. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and take the tack solution and spray it on there. We're going to wipe this down really well, just to make sure we're cleaning this and getting any waxes off of the paint. Okay, the other thing to note is that I'm using my slip solution for window tint today. because I don't have any mixed up for paint protection film, and I don't want to mix up a little bit just for this. So I have about 3 times as much soap in my slip as normal, so fortunately these are easy door cups, so shouldn't affect us too much, but look at all that soap. This thing's gonna sit on here and just go woo. So we're definitely gonna need some tack today. All right, let's find my squeegee that I use for these. Here it is. I love this squeegee for these because I've bent it over the years. Just take it and bend it. And it's got a nice contour to it. And nice rounded edges, so you're not pushing real hard on the edges. And this works really well. So let's get this lined up in place here, kind of right in the middle. Gonna hold that in place now, and I'm gonna drop some tack solution in there. And then right from the middle, squeegee that down like that, and then we'll take this part up. And then the sides here, we're gonna take away from the center to the corner. We'll take this one to the corner as well. And then over here, we'll do the same stuff. So out to the corner, let's get this handle pulled out so we can get our fingers in there. Great. And we'll go ahead and do the other side together to make sure I get some good video of this. I feel like I should have looked down more just a moment ago. So I'm not sure what we were able to capture there with the GoPro on my head. All right, and that's that part of the install. And then we'll go ahead, put this door edge on, and then we will go around to the other side and put this door cup on the other side. All right, so when we're applying this wet, the job is never done until we heat seal the edges. So let's warm up these edges and push this material down. You have to heat seal, just do it. Even on little pieces like this. Great. All right, so back here you can see that this starts below this line, this body line here, and that's terrible. Like, I mean, if I'm going to cover this, then I'm definitely getting this part that's bumping out when I'm doing my installs. We should probably stay real close to this though on the front door, although I'd really prefer to start up top here. On this body line is where I'd like to start and then work my way down. I'm gonna just do it. I think that's a much better install. So for these installs, we're gonna do this dry. We don't use any solutions. We are gonna clean this edge because they did wax everything here. There can totally be wax buildup inside here sometimes when it comes over from the body shop. Get some tack solution on there. Get this cleaned off really well. All right, and let's go ahead and dry this off. Great. Okay, so those other ones over there aren't so rounded as this. And so what I'm actually going to do is cut some of this off. Sometimes they are this rounded and sometimes they aren't. Okay. So this is gonna be inside the vehicle. I don't feel like this isn't straight enough, it's bothering me. And this side isn't rounded enough, which is gonna be the side that you see outside the car. Okay, that's better. So we'll go ahead and grab it right here. And I always grab in the part that's gonna roll into the door. So I'm not getting fingerprints in this. And then I wanna grab at the very bottom on this side. Okay, and then we're just gonna line up with this body line up here. Let's see how much is hanging over. It's less than 1/4 inch there. Try to keep that pretty uniform. Okay, so with that, this arm's gonna be like kind of pulling out and then down. And as I'm able to, I will get closer to the door. Okay, so let's try to keep that line straight. And the way that I'm adjusting that line is with this arm out here, like this. Okay, so as we come down, we want to make sure and keep that same gap. Oh, it's getting too wide. All the way down. Great, and then right there at the bottom, let's see what they did here. Doesn't even go to the bottom. Should definitely go to the bottom. I'm just gonna take it to the bottom. I don't know why I'm not making these match, but it's just really gonna bug me. Oops, did not get enough of a cut there into the paint protection film for it to tear. Let's try that again. Great. Okay, fantastic. Now at this point we will take our wrap glove here and start rolling this over the edge. And then each time we'll just roll our finger over further in the back. Let's see, we'll do this on the other side too, and I'll show you the back side on the other door as I'm pushing this down. Okay. Great. Terrific, let's get over to the other side and do the other one. We'll try to get a little bit different angle on that side. All right, so let's do the same thing here. We're gonna clean this up a little bit. The more difficult these door handle cups are, the more likely I am to do 70% rubbing alcohol on these instead of just the tack solution mixture. All right, now because that'll just help make sure there's absolutely no waxes. These are so easy that it's not that big a deal. Let's get our pattern here. Get a mist in there. Get this lined up into place here. So something right about there looks good. Get a bunch of tack back behind there. Let's get our squeegee. Okay, let's make sure we don't put too many of those fingers at the top. It looked like I had a lot of them at the top there. So that's looking really good now. Go ahead and see if we make an adjustment on this. Yeah, I think this will be a better angle with the cameras here. Okay, especially the GoPro for getting back behind here. Okay, we'll pull this handle out so we can get in there with our fingers. Go out to the corner. Go out to the corner. Same thing over here. So that part, I'm just gonna go up right in the middle. We're gonna take this one out to the corner. And then we need to do this bottom corner here. And then I'm just gonna go around now and go out again to all the edges. Just to make sure that we're not leaving any moisture behind. So check for water pockets. Great. All right, we'll see if this makes any difference for the view there with that camera, if getting the back side of this helps at all. Let's go ahead and get this all wiped off. Get ourselves a little bit of moisture there with the tack solution, and then we can clean this all off. Okay, let's dry that off now. We'll get this set into place here. See that fingerprint? Not sure if you can see that at all. Let's put another piece of black behind it. something black. Can you see that fingerprint in there? So just know that if you're working on a black car, you can definitely leave fingerprints in this. Okay, so we'll go ahead and again work this for our coverage on the door, back and forth. And then I'm basically kind of pinching here. That way I get good pressure on the material, but I'm not pushing like this so that we don't push the door closed. I mean, at this point, oh, we're getting a little wide there. At this point, you could definitely go ahead and throw on a wrap glove for this once the top is stuck into place. That'll help your fingers here glide much easier across the paint protection and the painted surface behind it there. All the way down to the bottom. And we want to make sure that we weren't pulling it all on the bottom either. We don't want any, there's no need to have any stretch on the material down here at the bottom. We don't want any tension on that, otherwise it will cause it to pop off. Okay, and then for cutting this, hopefully you can see that. I'm gonna come right across the bottom, then I'm gonna come up like at a 45 angle all the way out through the film. Great. And we'll go ahead and wrap this in. So again, just kind of on the front edge, wrapping around about halfway around the corner or the edge, going all the way around the edge now and around to the back just a tiny bit. Okay, great. And then now we're gonna go ahead and push down that very edge all the way down. So we just do it in little bite-sized chunks like that. If you do it too much at one time, you're gonna run into a lot of problems where you're creasing the film over, or you're going to, in areas like this, you're going to end up pushing down like that, and you're gonna leave a bunch of air in here. You're gonna bunch up the material right here. It's very easy to do in these areas here. And so we wanna just take that over little by little instead of just trying to do the whole thing, because you're gonna bunch that over and you're gonna leave air and a material bunched up on this edge here. So just take it little by little like that. 3 passes work great. All right, terrific. Well, that was the process of making duplicates of those rear door handle cups and installing them on the front. We also did some door edges. So hopefully you found something helpful there. And if you did, give a thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one.